Okay, we'll go ahead and start. Sorry, we're starting a little bit late. There were some technical difficulties with the Zoom meeting, but I am Professor Anderson. This is English 102. I wanted to go ahead and do a Zoom session at the beginning to highlight some important information about the course and go over some of the first week stuff that you guys will encounter. Um, like I said, it's optional, so I'll go ahead and put the recording up after we're done, and it shouldn't take too long unless there are a bunch of questions. All right, first thing I want to talk about is the drop add period and how that's different from withdrawing from the class. So basically, a drop allows students to remove a class from their schedule very early in the quarter and avoid academic or financial consequences. The drop add period at GMC is usually the first 4 days of the quarter. So for summer quarter, the drop add period will run through Thursday, June 8th. And if you do want to drop a class or add a class, that's something that you will contact your graduation coach about. Professors cannot drop or add students, so you won't come to me, you'll go to your graduation coach for that. And like I said, that runs through Thursday, June 8th. And withdrawals are different from dropping the class. Withdrawals are what happens after the drop add period ends. So that is after the drop add period up until 1 week prior to the end of the term. So for summer, the last day to withdraw will be July 21st. And that is not the same thing as a drop. There are two different kinds of withdrawals. The first one is an IU withdrawal. This is a non-attendance withdrawal. So this is what happens if a student goes 12 or more days without turning in a graded activity. You'll be withdrawn by me from the class and you'll receive a grade of IU, which is just like receiving an F, and you'll be removed from the course before the class officially ends. And graded activities that count towards your attendance, that'll be things like discussion forums and the skill building activity posts, quizzes, exams, essays, Turnitin assignments, all of those kinds of submissions count towards your attendance. And so the things that don't count towards attendance will be just logging into the course doesn't count, looking at different pages doesn't count, the practice quizzes that we have that aren't for a grade, those don't count towards your attendance, or any other non-graded course material. Those things don't count towards the attendance. So you want to make sure that you are submitting graded work consistently so that you don't go over the 12-day attendance period for an IU withdrawal. And then the other kind of withdrawals are a W withdrawal, which is a student-initiated withdrawal. And if you need to leave the course early, you will email me asking me to be withdrawn from the course with a grade of a W. However, that request will not be valid if you have already gone past the 12 days of non-attendance. Then it would still have to be an IU withdrawal. So you'll want to send in your withdrawal email before the 12 days of has elapsed with no graded activities. I also want to highlight the potential consequences of drops and withdrawals. The best option, obviously, is to stay in the class and complete the course with a passing grade, but that is not always possible for all students every quarter. So if you have to leave the course before it's over, a drop is very much preferable to a withdrawal. So dropping at the beginning of the course will be better because withdrawals will count against your attempted hours if you're receiving financial aid, and a drop doesn't count against those attempted hours. However, if you do need to withdraw from the class, a withdrawal request, so for the W, is the way to go over a non-attendance withdrawal, just because a W doesn't affect your GPA, but that IU will count as an F for non-attendance. So make sure if you need to leave the class early, don't just stop doing work. Make sure you email me and get your withdrawal in. But of course, before you do that, that's something you're going to want to talk to your graduation coach about because it can impact your financial aid and things like that. So talk to your graduation coach throughout the quarter if you're ever thinking of dropping the course. And even if the course is going to end in a withdrawal, whether it's IU or W, it is always better to stay in the course as long as you possibly can before leaving, even if you can't finish completely. And that's just because the longer you're in the course, the more you're going to learn, the more assignments you'll have under your belt as you go to take the course at a later quarter or at a later time. So, all right, what else did I want to talk about? Okay, discussion forum guidelines. This is something that you're going to see every week the quarter. You'll always have a discussion forum to do. And usually the initial posts are going to be due on Wednesdays, but because it's the first week, it's a little different this week. The first post is due on Friday. And you'll want to look at the guidelines and requirements for these forums. They take a little bit of getting used to, so you'll want to look at the discussion forum guidelines section of the course syllabus. That'll tell you everything you really need to know. The frequently asked questions link on the main course page will also be really helpful when it comes to discussion forums. And then I also recommend looking at the discussion forum grading rubric, which is inside the grading rubrics folder that's linked on the main course page. And if you look those over and you still have questions about discussion forums, just go ahead and send me an email and I can help you out. Okay, so there are also some class resources that I want everyone to know about as we go into the quarter. GMC has free tutoring for all students. It's awesome, 24/7, whenever you need it. It's called Smart Thinking, and the link is on the main course page towards the top. We also have a how-to guide for MLA format. MLA format is what you're going to be writing all of your papers in. The skill building activities will need citations. Basically everything will need some kind of MLA format that you turn in. So if you aren't super familiar with that format, or if you just want to refresh your memory, go ahead and look at that how-to guide. Like I said, let me know if you have any questions about it after you look over it. We also have the student resources link. And if this is your first time taking an online class or your first time taking a class at GMC, you definitely want to look at the student resources link. It has a lot of helpful tutorials for navigating the online campus, how to check your grades, everything like that can be found on the student resources page. We also have a GMC library FAQ and an Ask a Librarian feature. I also think that's linked on the course page. If not, I'll send out the link so that everyone has it. It's a great resource because we'll be using the library a lot this quarter. We'll be looking at articles, secondary sources, so that's something you will definitely need. We also have a librarian just for the online campus for GMC. His name is Ryan Taylor, and his email address is rtaylor@gmc.edu, and you can always email him with any library questions you have as you start using it this quarter. And another thing that I do want to highlight is plagiarism. Obviously, everyone knows that plagiarism can be copying from the internet, copying from your sources, but I want everyone to also realize that it is possible to plagiarize yourself. So if you have work that you've turned in another class or in a previous quarter, the Turnitin software that you're going to upload your papers through will flag that as plagiarism. So it is possible to plagiarize yourself. So don't turn in any work that you've had for a previous class or a previous quarter. And then also something we've been seeing a lot more of lately is AI generated writing, and Turnitin now also has a filter for that. So if a student turns in a paper that's been generated by AI, Turnitin will pick it up. And obviously that's also academic dishonesty because it's not your own writing. So we've been seeing that more and more. And there are like little ways you can tell when AI has written a paper. So just please don't do it. Turnitin will flag it, we'll notice. So just write all your own papers. And if you ever have any questions about plagiarism or what constitutes it, always reach out to me before just turning something in. I'm always available by email. I'll always respond within 24 hours during the week, maybe 48 on the weekends. Probably won't take that long. But yeah, always reach out to me if you have any questions as you're going through the assignments. I do want to pause for questions if anyone has any questions. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I feel like I'm missing something, which is making me nervous. I guess that's it. If I think of anything else, I'll email it out. I'm going to go ahead and upload this recording right after it's done. And yeah, like I said before, I'm Professor Anderson. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm so excited you guys are here. I want to help everyone be successful. So any question, big or small, my email address is listed towards the top of the course page. And yeah, just let me know if you guys need anything. All right, I'll go ahead and end the meeting now. Thank you to everyone who joined and everyone who is also going to watch the recording. And yeah, everyone have a good night.